Hey, Taurians, welcome back, guys. All right, let's take a look at a no contact situation. Because of this backdrop, all week I want to do kind of more cosmic energies. By the way, I'm having a lot of technical difficulties this week, so just know sometimes I'm going to be posting live streams, sometimes I'm going to be doing uploads. I'm working on trying to solve where the problem is. So please bear with me. You guys will want to check both of those tabs, which you kind of always have to check both those tabs on my channel because I do live streams and video uploads. But here's hoping that we figure out where the source of the issue is, because it's quite a big snag this week. We've got a 10 of Wands. We got a 6 of Swords. So in a no contact situation, how's this person looking at the situation? And who are they? Well, we have a 10 of Wands. And that 6 of Swords, they seem to be, I don't know if this is someone who feels like there was like a lot of other people involved. And they're saying, if we could just get away from all the other family members, all the other drama, you and me, we could run away together, Taurus. Because here's the thing. I could say, oh, they're laying down obstacles. They're not bothered by this anymore. And they're just going to sail on into the bright future and forget all about Taurus. But that's not the case, because we actually have these two swans that are going to be sailing along together. This is more like, come on, babe, we got to get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do, girl, there's a better life for me and you. I can't think who sings that, but it's like a 1960s song. This feels like they think that all the problems are from like other people, and we don't need to be bothered by other people. Come on, Taurus, you and me, let's go. This seems to be how they're looking at this. Taurus is still my person. If we could just keep other people out of our business, we wouldn't have any more problems. 6 of Cups. This is somebody who's planning on a return into Taurus's life, and they feel like it's time. I think that this character has either like their mind has gone round and round and said, okay, what is it really that's been such a problem? It's external stuff. So why can't Taurus and I just keep to ourselves? I gotta talk to Taurus about this. Even here we have this goose, or swan rather, who's got his little beak open, like talking to Taurus, like, don't you think, Taurus, that we're not the problem? It feels like they want to go back and forth and like discuss and ask Taurus, do you think now it would be a better time for us? Maybe other family members and life stuff was in the way, but do you think that now maybe we could give this a real whirl? Okay, let me ask this. How do you perceive the problems were between you and Taurus? We have the Fool. The Fool usually is like, got to take this big leap of faith. This is somebody also who's here on the moon. So I'm wondering if it was like, I didn't realize when we first met what problems we would encounter. I was just like oblivious to it. I was so ready to take this big leap. I had no idea that other things would possibly become factors. 6 of Pentacles and Judgment sideways. It almost feels like when someone caught wind of the fact that they were going to, like, maybe this person was going to move, since the moon can represent like distance, just like the star can, at least for me. But the moon is also this gravitational pull. I feel like this character met Taurus and was like, I can't wait to be with Taurus. This is amazing. I'm gonna offer Taurus my rose. However, if we look closely at this card, sorry, I'm losing my voice now. With the 6 of Pentacles, they were just thinking about giving to Taurus, but what they may have not recognized is somebody else. This could be an ex. This could be somebody who decided, what do you mean you found somebody else to be happy with? Oh, no, you don't. I'm going to reel you back in. This could be somebody that maybe didn't even want to reconcile with this individual. We're going to say him, but rather just wanted to throw a wrench in things so they couldn't just easily move on. Sometimes that Judgment card is, I don't think that this is like an ex who's like, hey, I might want to still be with you. So they were like, oh, maybe I should try things out with the ex again instead of move forward to Taurus. I think somebody reeled them back in. And because that very first card out was 10 of Wands, and we have all these people here, and it's kind of like, it's almost like somebody's working in an environment. I'm wondering if there was like a business related aspect to something. We certainly have the moon here again, and the moon is always what's hidden. And we have the clock on the other side of this card for that Judgment card. It feels like somebody caught wind of the fact that they had fallen for Taurus, or they were excited to be with Taurus, and possibly a Scorpio was like, actually, I think I'm going to trip them up just a bit. They owe me some money, or, they haven't paid off this debt, or if we ran a business together, let me make it so that all of a sudden there's a lot of problems. This could be somebody who slyly creates drama just when Taurus was about to move, or excuse me, just when this person was about to move toward Taurus. It kind of feels like it's a hidden intention to create some bog down. Yeah, we have the Lovers. It's like, I don't want them, but I don't want them to have anybody else. Certainly, I don't want them going over to Taurus. I can see that they're about to choose somebody, and somehow that gets under my skin. So we definitely had like the disruptor. It does look like it could have been a feminine. Um, just based off of this card, it looks like a feminine said, oh, you're about to go have success with somebody else. I see you happy. I see you falling for Taurus. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think that I definitely would like to slow that down. Why did this person do this? The disruptor, I mean. Ace of Pentacles. Maybe they did think, I want a new beginning, so let me foul up this person's ability to move toward Taurus. How did this person allow this? I'm not sure what happened there. Cups. Okay, so it could have been that an ex did call them back up, said all kinds of soft, gushy things. I'm unfortunately, this might have gotten them gravitating again toward an ex. But then does that mean that they were about to like juggle or choose an ex over Taurus? Four of Swords. No, it wasn't quite like that. It was more, could have actually been an act of compassion on their part, but I definitely feel like an ex reeled them back in and might have played upon their emotions. Just because we have a Knight of Cups does not mean that they were in love with or still wanted to be with an ex, but they may have still had emotions. I mean, and honestly, on one hand, we could say, well, it's to somebody's credit that, when you end things with an ex, you don't end things in this vile, hideous way where it's like, they're my forever enemy, but rather it's like, well, I cared about this person at one point in time. They've reached out to me now, right? As I'm getting started to really build something with Taurus. Now, this ex who I can't help it. I mean, I do still have compassion for them or caring for them. I have to. I mean, once upon a time, they were important to me. They're going through something difficult. I'm thinking that this disruptor, this feminine, may have played them quite a little sob story. You notice how we all these little music notes. It's like they sang their little song, their little violin. They acted like I don't know what to do. I'm so wounded. I just need a friend right now. And I hate to reach out to you, but I actually think that they were wondering. I don't think that they even wanted this person back. Not really. They just kind of wanted to see, maybe I don't want you to move on yet. So I'm going to reel you back in. I'm going to play, my violin. I'm going to play Wounded Bird, reel you back so that you're giving me compassion. And then I can see if maybe I'd want to hang on to you and prevent you from moving toward Taurus. Because maybe I'm not done playing with you yet. Like, that's how this comes across. And I feel as if this person, they fell for it. Did they cut Taurus out? I mean, obviously this is a no contact situation. So this is somebody that ended up helping an ex. Page of Wands, Page of Swords. Look, we have 3 people on this card as well. I was asking, did they stop talking to Taurus? Pages are communications, right? I don't think they stopped talking to Taurus entirely, but I will say the contact significantly shifted, changed. It's more like the contact was only in their heart space for a while. Like, I think about Taurus a lot. I still want to talk to Taurus. I don't know quite what to say. I'm wondering if they were trying to hold back, if I talk to Taurus, Taurus is going to know that I'm actually over here at my ex's house helping them out while they're having a meltdown. It could have been just like for a couple days or something where this person was like, this is so uncomfortable. This is going to ruin things with Taurus, who I want to be with. But I also felt compelled. It's so tough when it almost feels like this person was between that uncomfortable rock and a hard place where it's like, I can't be an ogre or a monster and ignore that an ex is in this dire set of circumstances, but I also know if I kind of tell Taurus this, it's going to look like I'm going back to an ex. I mean, there is a third party here, even though it may not be anything to do with romance. I mean, they're attracted to Taurus, but they definitely got sucked back into helping somebody else. So it's like, look, I can't split hairs about this. Any way you splice it, there is a third party here, even though it's Taurus that I want, romantically. That requires boundaries, I think. I think this is a lesson in they need to get boundaries up, or man, they're going to lose their Taurus. So in this silence, in this no contact situation, they have come to this conclusion that kind of exactly that. Like, look, I don't feel bad for an ex anymore. I don't have to go back to them. I'm going to come back to Taurus. It is like time that I really say to Taurus, look, it's just going to be you and me. I blocked the ex. The ex can't call me anymore. I'm sorry that happened. That's kind of the way this feels. But let me ask, do you feel like you did Taurus wrong in all this? Because my impression is that this was kind of a weird, sticky situation. Maybe they were at a distance. We have the star. It could have been that it was like, I'm going to heal things with Taurus, but there was some distance here. There was some I don't know that they normally would see Taurus every day and then they just drop off of the face of the planet for a week. Maybe this was like, I talked to Taurus a lot, we've started something, but then yes, admittedly, my attention was given to, my ex for a period of time, but I'm really going to make it up to Taurus. We have a King of Wands in the reverse. They feel really poorly about this. They feel like this was like Taurus might see them as untrustworthy, self-indulgent. I mean, they do worry about this, that their image in Taurus's eyes is really poor right now. How are you going to go about fixing this? 8 of Wands. They feel like an absolute fool because I think they realized that they were getting played by the ex. I think they realized the ex was just throwing obstacles up, and maybe the ex was, going to try to see if they could get him back. And they're like, look, we've moved on. I just came back to help you because you said you were having a meltdown. They do feel foolish. They feel like a jester. They're going to come back and start, I think, telling Taurus the whole story, which I think full transparency is probably the best here. But it does feel like Taurus isn't even around. They may have a hard time accessing Taurus, is what this looks like. 10 of Cups. They're going to be laying it on pretty thick, pouring this like, I was thinking about you the whole time, Taurus. I feel so stupid. An ex said that they were having this meltdown. I felt like an ogre if I don't know how I got myself guilted into feeling like I had to go over to their house to help them out. But then it's so stupid because that's not really what it was about. They had other plans, and I've put up boundaries with them now. Taurus, I really want to pour my energy into this 10 of Cups. Let's get one card just for Taurus. How's Taurus feel in this silence? Because I'm wondering if Taurus actually let them go. Taurus says, I know this person felt like my 2 of Cups, even in the silence, even in the solitude, even in the no contact that we've had for a little bit. I still feel this way. I also think maybe Taurus is wise enough to say, look, the attributes that I like about them is that they are an emperor, and emperors, they can put up good boundaries, but they also are kind. They are understanding. They don't leave people high and dry if there's a way, not to. I almost think Taurus is like, look, some of the same attributes that I like about them, the reason I think highly of them, are the same things that might be letting them get pulled back into this drama with an ex. I trust that they'll work this out. This actually feels more like Taurus is saying, they're a great person. I actually do feel like they're bonded to me. Taurus didn't really feel threatened by this. They felt like this person needed to figure it out, though, for themselves. And Taurus is like, they will. 3 of Swords in the reverse. I know that their ex isn't really upset and wounded. And I also know that they themselves are not pining for their ex. I do know that. Taurus has been able to see this. I think Taurus was like, you do what you got to do, but we're not going to be in communication while you're busy helping an ex. Figure out what you need to do there. I almost feel like Taurus might have said very plainly, like, I'm not worried. If they're supposed to be mine, they'll be in my world. I trust that they're a person who will make the right decisions. I wouldn't want them to be callous or heartless. I like the fact that they're an actual emperor, but they do have to decide, see the situation for themselves and figure out where to put up boundaries. I'm not going to become part of a conflict. I think that's almost why this feels like Taurus stepped back and was like, you do what you got to do. I'm not stopping you. I'm not guilting you. If you were going to be my person, you would choose me and you'll figure out how to do that properly. Or if you're supposed to still be theirs, I release you to be where you need to be. I think Taurus has known, though, all along. I already know they're my person. This feels very secure, and it feels more like, almost like, because of Taurus being able to handle this with such a, like, I'm not insulted, I'm not upset. I know they're an emperor. They have to help people. That's what they do. But they'll also become a more educated emperor when they realize that somebody's kind of playing them like a fiddle. But I don't need to tell them that. They can figure that out. That actually feels amazing. They may have some, they're going to probably have to put in some extra time to get Taurus and them back on track. But I don't think it's Taurus being like, crawl, beg me for forgiveness, because Taurus wasn't really stressed out about this. Taurus was like, they're going to be mine once they're done helping somebody else who's just, crying wolf right now. I'm not worried. My person will be my person if that's how it's supposed to be. And if not, then, vaya con Dios. Go be with the one you're meant to be with if it isn't me. That attitude is such a flex, and it's so empowering, and it's like, it's made Taurus like really content with however this plays out, and it actually is playing out really, really well. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.